Well, guys, I have won all 5 of my NBA free picks here in the finals, and number 6 in a row coming your way in just a moment. And of course, in baseball, naturally, yesterday, I went 2-0 with the baseball freebies, giving you winners on the Reds and the Royals, and naturally lost my own personal best bet again. Sooner or later, the fickle finger of fate, and try to say that 3 times quickly, go ahead, I dare you, is going to point itself in my direction. I hope to God it's soon, because I'm tired of winning free picks and losing my own money. That's the bottom line, but I've got another free baseball selection coming your way in just a moment as I take away a look at the Seattle LA Angels contest, looking for freebie winner in baseball number 7 out of 9, plus a multitude of promos and discount coupons coming your way in just a moment, and a lot of red-hot handicappers to discuss as well. But before we go any further, guys, I just want to take a moment. Are you aware of what went on in Atlanta yesterday, where the morning crew of 790 The Zone, a rinky-dink station, and that's my personal opinion, a rinky-dink station in Atlanta, decided for some asinine reason yesterday to do this alleged comedy bit, mocking, and mocking is the best word that I can come up with in terms of this particular scenario, mocking the former New Orleans Saints player, Steve Gleason, who has ALS, Lou Gehrig's syndrome, Lou Gehrig's disease. If you're not aware of it, and I mean, I find it hard to believe that you're not, or if you have not heard the actual disgusting clip, why these 3 morons, I mean really, 3 morons, would ever think something like this was even funny, I put the link right here underneath to the Atlanta Journal-Constitution that you can click on, and you can read the story. You've got to read the reactions of a couple of these dimwits, okay? You got to wonder, what brain cells do they possess? Now, just full disclosure, I used to live in Atlanta, company I used to work for before I did other things. At one time, we had some discussions about doing a joint venture with a couple of these, 1 or 2 of these guys among the trio that was eventually fired by the station. I always thought they were clowns. I always thought they were clowns on the radio. But, you know, sports talk radio has changed so much. I know as a kid, yes, people, before we had the internet, before we had cell phones, stuff like that, used to get my little transistor radio. I used to listen as a kid, even though I was living outside of Philadelphia, to 3WE in Cleveland, to Joe Franklin, who was as caustic and cantankerous as anyone that ever has been on the airwaves. And listen, the beautiful thing about this country is we have freedom of speech. So if I want to call the 3 guys in Atlanta morons, I can. If you want to say that I suck as a handicapper, well, you can't say that because I've already told you right now I suck as a handicapper, so you got to get in line for that one. But that's the beautiful thing about the country that we live in and the rights that we are afforded, First Amendment rights. But there comes down to something regarding taste, having some good common sense, having some brain cells that you want to do what these assholes did yesterday. So again, it just makes me sick. Especially when I think about all the good that we, you and I, have tried to do with the Charity Play of the Week program here that I established 15 months ago. And then you hear this shtick, and these guys, what would possess people to think this was funny? Anyway, they got their asses fired. They deserve it. You know, this is America, too, where people constantly get second chances for being morons, even. So who knows? They'll probably all get jobs again, but I'm telling you, it just blows my mind. Let's talk about what's going on here tonight. I've got to talk about Brian Rosica. Rosica is a guy that I added to the site back on February 5th. You remember that? Since that time, $10 bettors have won $10,640. Phenomenal start. The best start of any handicapper ever that I added to this site, as I think he went 17-1 with his first 18 selections. Went like 24-4 with his first 28 selections. It was just incredible. But just like the teams and the players that you handicap and you gamble on a daily basis, he eventually hit a losing skid. But that skid is over. Because in the NBA Finals, he has had 4 consecutive 100-dime releases. Games 2, 3, 4, and 5. He has hit all 4 of those 100-dime releases. And the Game 3, Game 4, and Game 5 picks, you've all gotten for a discounted price, and I'm going to do it again today. Because today, Rosica has his 100-dime NBA Finals winner, number 5 in a row. It is going to be on the total. He cashed in with the over in game number 5. You can save $50 and get the play for $50 off using coupon code 50Brian. 50 Brian. This is the same exact deal that you got on Sunday, $50 off, and he scored for you. Again, 5th consecutive 100 dime winner in the finals. 4th consecutive 100 dime release, which you're getting at a discounted price. Save $50. 50 Brian is that coupon code. Another coupon code to be aware of here. Craig Davis, max wager, 100 dime winner, number 17 out of 22 going tonight. But it's on the first half of tonight's game. The first half play of tonight's game. But he also has a 50 dime bonus on the full game wager. So you get the first half play, 100 dime winner, number 17 out of 22. He just cashed in with his most recent 100 dime play, was Miami in game number 4 last Thursday, and a 50 dime play on the full game wager here tonight from Craig Davis. 50 dime winner, number 32 out of 55 overall. This from the guy who, overall in the playoffs, $10 bettors have won a little over $3,300. He's putting more than half of that total bankroll on the line tonight. And why do I mention this? Because he is the half price play of the day, guys. The 100 dime play for the first half, the 50 dime play for the side, you get it for half price simply by using his first name as the coupon code, Craig, C-R-A-I-G. It's that simple. Now, perhaps you want to make your own discount here today, guys. Here, save $30 off the purchase of any handicapper or any package or anything at the site. One-time usage coupon today, save $30. This is the coupon code, SAVE30. Can't say I made this too tough for you, right? Save 30. Finally, the $5 play of the day. Anthony Red is on a roll, guys. He is absolutely on a roll. 10-3 overall the past 11 days, making it $10 better, $3,610. And again, he's going for another huge total winner. He's hit each of his 3 total releases the past 3 days. He's got a 4th in a row going today. You got his Saturday and Sunday 75 dime total winners. One in baseball on Saturday. It was the Mariners in Oakland under the total in a 4-0 finish. And a 75 dime winner in game number 5 on Sunday with the Spurs and the Heat easily going over. You got those plays for $5. You can get his $5 play today. Save $70 as well. And guys, this is a big release for Anthony Red. This is another 75 dime basketball winner, number 10 out of 15. The Spurs, Heat, over-under winner, $5 play of the day, simply by using coupon code, I got to look for that coupon code, Vegas70. Why Vegas70? Because the price of the play is $75. This saves you $70. Vegas70 is the coupon code. Now, any of those handicappers that I just happened to mention, if they don't happen to be at the site, just contact customer service. They will point you in the right direction for this one. Okay, let's talk about this game tonight because that's what we're here for, okay? A damn tough game. You notice the price has dropped from 7 down to 6.5 in most sports books at the time that I'm doing this report at about 11:30 a.m. Pacific time, okay? So it is obviously dropped down a bit. Miami Heat, we know they're in a must-win situation, blah, 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 blah. We know how they do after a straight-up loss, blah, 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 blah. All we got to be concerned with tonight is not whether Miami is going to win the game straight up, but can Miami cover the 6.5 to 7 point number? I'll tell you what, I don't think so. I think the Spurs are the way to go here. As I alluded to in yesterday's video report, I thought Greg Popovich made a great move. Not only did he really give a boost in terms of restoring Manu Ginobili's confidence, a guy who was only averaging 7.5 points on like 30-some% shooting in the first 4 games of the series. Not only did he restore his confidence by putting him in the starting lineup for the first time this season in game number 5 on Sunday, but he also changed the dynamic of the series, I believe, because with Ginobili and Tony Parker both in the backcourt, it provided Miami with all types of matchup issues. I mean, Mike Miller with that achy, creaky back. I mean, he can't defend his own shadow. Ray Allen, too old to defend anybody. Norris Cole and Mario Chalmers getting obliterated by Tony Parker already in the series. With Parker and Ginobili both on the floor at the same time, the Heat were defenseless. And I mean that in all seriousness. They were defenseless. And with Ginobili and Parker on the floor, the offense for the Spurs, you saw their transition game get cranked up because these guys, it's like having 2 point guards in the backcourt. And when Ginobili, who, you know, sometimes he He's a little wild with his passing, let's be honest, okay? But the fact is, he's a creator. And when he's in the flow and he's got it going, that makes Parker all the more dangerous of a threat. So, with those two out there, and then with Danny Green just unbelievable shooting in this entire series from three-point land, well, it just made it a game that the Spurs, because of their depth and their interchangeable parts, were able to excel in that transition game. Now, Erik Spoelstra tonight is faced with a dilemma. You going to start Mike Miller again? Jesus, I hope not. Shane Battier? I hope not. He probably goes back to Udonis Haslem tonight. He probably has to play Greg Anderson, the Birdman, who hasn't played the past couple of games. Why? God knows. He's got to be able to lock down the Spurs a little bit defensively, but the Heat still don't have the players to contain Parker and Ginobili. Spurs, I'm a little bit worried here because I thought one of the advantages in Sunday's game, as I pointed out in Sunday's video report for San Antonio, was the fact that because of the 2-3-2 format of the series, not only was that game number 5 at home for San Antonio, but because of TV, they had an extra day of rest, and I thought that was so important because Parker was coming off the hamstring injury, Duncan and Ginobili because of their age, and I think it benefited. Now, of course, you've got short rest here. You've got a road game as well, but it all comes down to that 6.5 to 7 point line. Why is this line dropped to 6.5? Because people are grabbing the Spurs. Listen, I mean, in reality, does Miami deserve to be a 7-point favorite, 6.5 point favorite in this game? I mean, Pacers gave them trouble. Bulls gave them trouble. Spurs won game number 1 outright, okay? I think this is going to be a 3 or 4 point game in one direction or another. So I like San Antonio plus the points. That's the way I would play it tonight. That's my recommendation for that one. Now, in baseball, I'm going to go with a pitcher who is 1-10 on the season. And since I am not betting on this guy, and since he's a free pick, I guarantee you he will be 2-10 after the night is over, because that's the way my luck has been running here of late. Seriously. I'm going to go with Joe Blanton and the LA Angels. Blanton 1-10 with a 5.87 earned run average. Skipped his last start, which is probably a damn good thing. He's been working on his pitching mechanics in between. Last outing, June 9th at Fenway. Geez. 5 innings pitched, 8 hits, 7 runs, 3 homers allowed. Just a typical performance for a guy who has an earned run average near 6 on the season. I'm going to go against Jeremy Bonderman, who has had 2 very good starts, 0.64 ERA in his last 2 starts after giving up 7 runs in a short stint in his first outing earlier this season for the Mariners. But this game isn't so much predicated, or this pick isn't so much predicated on the pitching matchup, but it's on the hitting matchup. I've used the Angels as a best bet. I've used the Angels a number of times here in the past week as a free play, and I've mentioned each time that when this team starts hitting, you got to ride them, and they are hitting right now. They've won 4 of their last 5 games. They've scored 36 runs in that 5-game stretch. Last night, they won 11-3. Season high 21 hits. Pujols is hot. A lot of guys are contributing up and down the lineup. You look at the top 6 in the lineup. When they are hitting, boy, that's murderer's row up there. So I'm going to go with the Angels here, but of course you got to play them on the run line. And you'll get them as probably $1.05 underdog. That's your other free selection. Good luck to you all, guys, and I will catch you again tomorrow.